For the family gathers toward that 20 milliliters is 1:52 p.m. in my city, Chicago. May 23rd. Freaky Freedom Friday 2025. Hey, McNamara, we're going to kick it for a minute. I'm just chilling. It's nice out. I ain't trying to get in no trouble and shit. But, that's why I'm in the crib. This box. It ain't nothing but a tomb and shit. You understand? I gotta get my life back, Mary McNamara, because this wardrobe change and me trying to tell people my story in a general Captain Mac cool kind of way, has cost me a small fortune and stuff, considering I'm on a fixed income. But because I don't have no, body to really spend it on, no friends or, and not to spend it on like that. You understand what I'm saying? But to kick it with or whatever and stuff, my lifestyle has changed. I used to work every day, party every night, every day of the week. And, I had a routine going on. But since they sabotaged me and stuff, it's like, ugh. And I ain't giving them that much power. I'm just saying, I had to figure out some stuff. So I'm at this trap building in this box. It's kind of like a little grave and stuff. They trying to bury me, trying to box me in. I ain't finna let them do that. I got a new birthday coming up and a new lease on life. And I don't know what's finna happen with this manager, people I'm with, this government funded program, Featherfist. I know one thing, Proverbs chapter 6, verse 37, they owe me for real, for real. I call them, with their hands in my pocket and doing the most and stuff. But of course, they rather label me crazy than a genius. So I don't know how it's going to work. I'm going to play it out as long as I can. You understand what I'm saying? But for the most part, they trying to, get me, hemmed up on the outside so they can just take my little fortune I built since I've been here the last 8 years. I got here in 2017. I talk to y'all because I want you to understand what's going on. You work and work and work and do you the right thing. We, pretty much my generation, we done it all. You understand what I'm saying? And I just watched a video that said that a public service announcement is basically letting people know that slavery never ended. You understand? I put it in the description of this video in the comment portion. I know they monitor my videos and they don't allow people to, view them or cut me off or whatever and stuff. That's why I have to go outside and put in work. And I realize people know who I am. Just don't give a fuck and stuff. They just want to use me and stuff. My voice is activating their credit cards, like Nelly said in one of his songs on his Country Grammar album. If you listen carefully, say everything voice activated, So when I say something, they get free groceries or whatever and stuff. Real talk. And I'm on a fixed income and, pretty much fighting with people who got me in this trap building after stealing everything of mine and stuff. I shouldn't be struggling for nothing. I'm the originator of rap since the age of 8, 1975. It's 10 City for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. My city, Chicago. I grew up, influenced a lot of people that came in and, made a killing and, raped it and left and went back and then brought the rest of their people over to finish us off and stuff. The money is there. They just don't care about us. I mean, I worked my whole life ever since I was 6 years old. You understand what I'm saying? Standing up for myself. They said if you work hard, you get the American dream. 2-car garage, nice house, pick a fence and all that, Even if I don't got family, my family, did me dirty or whatever, and everybody else that came, I should have got something out the deal other than, a little trap ass place. I can't even hang my clothes and stuff, it's crazy and shit. My first ever YouTube video, Mary Mac vs. the Fat Black Oprah Winfrey, and then I posted November of 2007. That was my dream apartment, for real, for real. It was spacious, everything in there I bought, it was new, you understand? I was there 1 year, signed another lease, and then they railroaded me and got all that stuff that I worked my ass off of. Free stuff, that's all they want is free stuff. So they want your labor for free, they want the stuff that you buy for free, and then they want you to support them, you understand what I'm saying, but don't want you to be independent for yourself. They want you to, just, here, whatever we give you, that's what we want. Look, I'm like, look, I don't believe in war and all that and fighting this, that, and third. I believe vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and, the Lord fight my battles and things of that nature, but, God help those who help themselves, and that's why, I'm the originator of rap since the age of 8, 1975. Coming from behind, that's 75. Now I'm freestyling because I can't see what time it is on this phone. I can only see the minutes. You understand what I'm saying? So I have this one face down, and I just pick it up, and that's the spirit for you and stuff. So they use your spirit, and that's how they stay alive. They believe in what God people have to offer and can do for them, but they ain't giving nothing back. It's all give and no take. Like Tupac said, run out of money, watch your heart break and stuff. So I guess they basically just want to kind of find some kind of reason to, dirty up my legacy and stuff like that, like they did Michael Jackson and stuff, isolate you and, woo out the band. They can't do me like that. I mean, you have to blow my head off literally because, I work too goddamn hard for real. And I'm a lady. I'll be 58 years old. I'm walking around like this. As soon as I was trying to become the lady that I wanted to be, they kept, you know what I mean? They sabotage me and stuff for real and trying to make it seem like they don't know I'm a girl or a lady and stuff. I have to dress like this because I'm in a goddamn building with a bunch of guys from prison and psych wards and homeless tramp trails and shit. I can't be walking around looking all sophisticated and shit. I'll be on guard. I'll be sleeping in my clothes and shit. I feel like I'm at war for real. You understand what I'm saying? I've never felt like this before. Not even selling general merchandise in the streets of Chicago, for real. I've never had these many problems until I started working on myself. They hate when you work on yourself because then it takes the attention off of them. It's like in a relationship. The girl, you give them all attention, and then as soon as you say, you know what, I'm finna work on myself, then they get mad and want to sabotage you and stuff. Real tough. And, start a whole bunch of shit. It's crazy. It's some crazy shit. When I say this is a weird, it used to be a woke society or a woke generation, not anymore. Weirdos. It's the weirdo generation. See, that's what they do. They take everything real and turn it into a gimmick and shit. When I first got on social media in 2007, everybody was conscious. Now everybody crazy and shit. You got Snoop Dogg in church doing the most mocking God and doing, what I'm saying? I believe in my higher power for real. I'm the real one for real, for real. Y'all know that just by watching my videos if you ever get a chance to for real, without being biased and, scrutinizing everything I do. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. I am the original manifestation of the Martin Luther King I have a dream. I am that person. But I don't care if you acknowledge that or not. I'm just saying, just give me my money. Don't nobody work and don't get compensated. See, that's the whole thing. They're trying to put us in slavery. Even though we fought to get out of it and stuff. They didn't give us nothing. We fought. Shit, we was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Real talk. And then they trying to act like they trying to put us back. Hey, you know what they say. I'll be buried in my grave before I be a slave. Real talk. And I'm telling you the truth. Because as soon as my birthday come, I'm on a different fucking level. Social media ain't done shit for me. They ain't give me no money. Everybody came up off my ideas on social media. Country Wayne, all them. But he going to have to fight to stay on top and stuff without me, for real. Maybe God wanted me to help him because he had all them goddamn children or whatever, and God helped those who helped themselves, so I ain't mad at that. But nigga, you could have threw me a car or something by now. You understand what I'm saying? Real talk. You just like everybody else took advantage, and I ain't sugarcoating nothing. Everybody that came into my life have taken advantage of me, and I've helped billions of people. Real talk, and that's the honest to God's truth. And I've never had more than 25,000 in my lifetime at one time. Yeah, and even then, I invested in the what is this? The other, what's that generation that what they call them, the millenniums or whatever the fuck. You understand what I'm saying? So y'all gonna learn when you ain't got me to pick on no goddamn mo. So I'm gonna go all the way to 203 because today is the 23rd and another so-called friend of mine's birthday, Doris, who I met when I was younger. People just came in my life because they knew at the age of 6, I was going to be somebody, definitely at the age of 8 when I became the originator of rap. They watched me and my potentials and me being a foster child and being moved here, there, and everywhere, and probably even your place if you're watching this video, long story short. And, they saw the money. They didn't see me as a person or a child that had been abused and taken advantage of. They saw me as an opportunity, and that's been a story for my whole life and stuff. So I'm going to take my life back. Don't care what a person thinking about me or whatever and stuff. And if you put your hands on me, I will defend myself. It's real simple. Everybody goes through this. Bob Marley, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all the greats and stuff, probably you. You understand what I'm saying? I don't understand how people can identify, even with this video, and not stand up for themselves or for someone who stood up for them and got them the most. Because without me, and that's the honest God's truth, a lot of you motherfuckers would have been dead and wouldn't have had nothing. Oprah Winfrey, she would have testified before it's over with. Or she would go to hell like the Bible said, Luke chapter 16. And I would not be there with her. It is 2:03, and this on my mama. What's up? This the 9. This the 13. I got plenty of stories for these numbers, and this the 1. Step your game up. Peace.